Pro Mazda Racing. Oh, do we love it. iRacing's most dedicated community is back again for more action and entertainment, shaking and baking, as we welcome you to Brands Hatch, located in West Kingston in Kent in England, which hosts Week 3 action for Season 3 2018 of the Pro Mazda Championship. All coverage today, of course, is on your beloved RaceSpotTV. Around a 3.703 kilometer, 2.301 mile Brands Hatch layout, clockwise, of course, as it rotates 9 turns across this classic circuit, 3 to the left, 6 of those to the right as well. That run down to Paddock Hill Bend at turn 1 will be ever thrilling in these open wheel cars. It will challenge the drivers today for 21 laps of racing action. Elevation change of up to 30 meters from top to bottom across the entire circuit. Maximum fuel, of course, 18 liters and 5 gallons. The drivers should be okay today to make no pit stop for all 21 laps of the race. Beautiful sunny skies. I'm Jonathan Swan in the commentary booth, all alone here today, but I am joined by the ever handsome, beautiful, lovely Hugo Luis in production. Thanks to Esteban Bello, Andrea Swerner, Simon Grossman, Nick Thiessen as well. You can see they're on screen for their contributions to what you'll see in one of the best broadcasts, hopefully, in iRacing here today. I have to say, first of all, we're currently in qualifying. 8 minutes, 2 laps, of course, for the drivers. 1 minute 17, some quick times already. The driver of Ollie Peacock in the first position, followed by Martin Arnoldus. Martin Arnoldus, the OG of Pro Mazdas. And you can see him there currently on screen, perhaps. There he is, Martin Arnoldus in P2. Now, we know how much he's done. He's been a big contributor for everything we've seen in terms of these broadcasts here, bringing them to the Pro Mazda community. He comes towards the final few corners. He's already set a lap time, so this will be the last one available for him. Let's have a look through the final corners. Looks quick, doesn't he? Can he get into the 1 minute 16s for pole position across the line? Don't think he has done it. Timing update very late there. 1 minute 16.847. You can see on the left-hand side of the screen. Ollie Peacock, though, blisteringly quick. And he jumps ahead of Martin Arnoldus early. And Jim Lewitz was also very quick. 16.9 for him. So rapid improvements there towards the end of the session. There's still plenty of time left, though. Drivers of Jamie Brinkley, he's completed 2 laps. Daniel Fletcher has just completed his 2 as well. Robert Bernabeu, he's also completed 2 laps. Just trying to see who's available here. There's Robert on screen, riding on board with him. His 2 laps are done, so this will be very difficult to see who can actually possibly jump ahead of Ollie Peacock in pole position. Ollie Peacock, a driver I haven't seen personally in Pro Mazda. So championship standings on screen. Everett Paddock currently leads ahead of David Endelo. Leads by quite a good margin there. Thomas Jordan in 3rd. Thomas Jordan's ever quick in Pro Mazda, isn't he? Daniel Fletcher in 4th. Stephen Roskin as well in the 5th position. No sign of the name, the big name, Martin Arnoldus. No sign of Jeroen Haag. None of those big names out there in the top 10 of the championship. Will we see a new champion? Surely in Pro Mazda. And Medema, Rob Gray, other notable names down there as well. Samuel Clark. Championship still all to play for. It's only week 3, of course. So as drivers now starting to make a few practice starts, watching Vincenzo Taormina in the number 8. He's just trying to pick his starting spot. There he is there. From Pennsylvania, Vincenzo. He's got one of the most Italian names. He's from good old USA. Engines rev. Good start. Here's that run to Paddock Hill Bend. Look at that as well. It's a very short run to turn number 1. Only 200 meters. And it's the overtakes that will need to be made later on at Druids Corner that are more important. Jim Day on screen. He's completed both his laps as well. So drivers just having a bit of fun out there at the moment to end this qualifying session. So Notable things to watch out for. The start, as we mentioned, heading into Paddock Hill Bend. Drivers will be 2 by 2 through there almost. The passes will need to be made into Druid's Corner. And here's our virtual drone. Everything's virtual these days. That's a virtual drone going around. Oh, it's gone. No, they went back again to the virtual drone. Someone's playing around with me here. We'll wait and see. That's that run. So there's the main straight. We'll wait for the run into Paddock Hill Bend. Druid's Corner later on. Then it will start to form up heading into Graham Hill Bend. Surtees as well, the left-hander through that early sector. And then through the middle part of the lap. Hawthorne Hill, Westfield, Sheen Curve, Sterling's, all the way to Clark of the final corner. This track takes a lot of medium speed grip. The anti-roll bar is ever critical. So is that high speed grip, the suspension, the third springs, everything coming into play. Qualifying session almost done and dusted. We know we've had quite a lot of champions as well. There's a Hall of Fame out there on the forums too, by the way, for those who haven't paid attention to the Pro Mazda Championship forums. There is there's a complete Hall of Fame for every single champion all the way back to 2008. All the way to Luke McLean and Gregor Hutu, who won this championship back in 2008. Unfortunately, Hugo Luis is next to me, too lazy to even race in this possibly and never win it. I don't know. I don't know why Hugo never won this. He did win another big championship, though, and I think he'll be good for that. Let's have a look at the grid instead. Enough banter. Ollie Peacock on the front row alongside Martin Arnoldas. We know those two have locked that row out. Jim Lewis and Brinkley in 3rd and 4th. Then we look at 5th and 6th. Daniel Fletcher along with Robert Bernabeu, David Endelo and Samuel Clark, 7th and 8th. Paddock, Taramina round out your top 10, followed by Alessandro Maresta and Medema. Then it'll be Eduardo Martin, Jean-Michel Noyon, Jim Day, Ziega, then Plumley, Matjevich, and Roberts. Ready to take to the grid here. 21 laps of racing action coming up. Look at Ollie Peacock on the left-hand side of your screen. He's got the grid position ahead of Martin Arnoldas. Arnoldas may have the traction, though, from the outside. Lights illuminate, engines rev. And we go green from Brands Hatch. Oh, what a getaway from Martin Arnoldas. He's already into the lead. Arnoldas screams his way into P1. Ollie Peacock did not get off the line well. Aurelian Jimlowitz here searching for P2 with Druid's hairpin. Jimlowitz may have it though, but have a look at the next corner coming up right now. Graham Hill Bend. Good start from Ollie Peacock. Rest of the field files through. Good start from everybody else as well. Quite clean. So at the start here, Jimlowitz, as we said, into 3rd, had an opportunity possibly for that 2nd position, but Ollie Peacock was ever quick around the outside of the Druid's hairpin. Overtaking attempt here from Daniel Fletcher. Oh, good side-by-side action. Fletcher, though, continues in 4th position. He's up ahead, started in 5th on the odd row. And again, another attempt here to the next right-hander. Oh, pushing to the max, and they made contact. Fletcher and Jimlowitz. Fletcher's into the wall, Jimlowitz into the wall as well, and a clean start is out of the way, out of the picture. And on the right-hand side of the screen, 2 other drivers now involved. The number 9 there of Medema. I think I saw Robert Plumley as well, the number 11. Oh, goodness gracious. So it's Sheen Curve that really caught out the drivers, the slow right-hander. Here's a replay there. Oh, the slow-mo will show you what's happened. And, oh, huge contact. Jim Lewis was sent flying. And, of course, unfortunate for everybody else involved as well behind. Another driver going off there in picture, too. There was Medema. And the driver of Robert Plumley out of the race. Daniel Fletcher out of the race, too. So 3 drivers out. Aurelian Jimlowitz out. 15 cars left in this field. Whoa, Plumley had nowhere to go. Straight into the wall, and his race was pretty much over there. All that practice put to bed. Martin Arnoldus, though, he is still your leader, along with Ollie Peacock following closely behind. 3/10 the difference between those two. Then it's David Endelo third. Jamie Brinkley fourth. Bernabeu rounds out your top five. And it's Martin, Taramina, Clark, Paddock, and Jean-Michel Noyon in the 10th position. Field will cycle at the top of your screen. Lap 2 of 21. Still plenty of action remaining. Not expecting pit stops here today, as we said, although you can make it if you do deem it to be faster. You'd have to be crazy, though, to think that. Samuel Clark still making progress. Trying to make progress. Started 8th, still in the 8th position. Eduardo Martin started 13th, up into the top 6 there. He's heading through the Druids hairpin. Now here through Graham Hill Bend. Then to Surtees. Oh, passing attempt here up ahead. Robert Bernabeu. Trying to get past Jamie Brinkley, though. Brinkley has all the speed here. Look at Eduardo Martin. Where do I go? Do I go left, right, through the middle? There's nowhere left to go. Narrow circuit up ahead. Through Hawthorns. Oh, something's happened to Robert Bernabeu. Oh, he's lost even more positions. Bernabeu's off the racetrack now. Something's gone wrong with Robert. Oh, he's lost an immense amount of positions. It's like playing blackjack at the casino. You just lose everything all at once. And through Sterling's. I don't even know what position Bernabeu's in. Showing him as 11th on screen. I'm not even going to be surprised if the timing screen's wrong. He's lost many spots. So across the main straight here, we ride on board with Robert Bernabeu. Through Paddock Hill Bend, they all blister through. Oh, running deep there is the number 15 of Jean-Michel Noyon. Noyon is a driver who is quite streaky. He has his days where he looks like Ayrton Senna, and then the next, you don't know what's going on, such as today. He's currently in P9. And you want to see more out of him. Maybe he will climb his way through the field. Up 5 positions for Jean-Michel Noyon, the Frenchman. And possibly more. This could be that Senna day. Who knows? Brilliant shot through the right-hander. So if you're paying attention to the timing screens, Ollie Peacock still close to Martin Arnoldus. They're heading through to the final corner. That's Clark Curve right now. There they are on screen. Arnoldus being hounded here. This gap is not going away anytime soon. I'm just wanting to know what would have happened if Peacock got away off the line well. Is he being impeded here by Martin Arnoldus? Did Arnoldus have this pace all along? Questions to be answered over these next 16 laps. To replay the start there, Arnoldus. Oh, look at that clean side ahead. Have a look at it again, actually. Engines rev, lights illuminate, ready to go for 21 laps of action. Arnoldus says, I'm going before any one of you. Oh, look at the traction. I'm not sure if he had an incredible start or if Peacock just made an error. Didn't seem to be slow on reaction, did Ollie Peacock. There he is on board. So off the line. Nah, the reactions were good. Just no traction, no grip. Seemed to be a lot of wheel spin for Ollie Peacock. And at his home track. Well, there's like 17 home tracks for any British driver out there. But at one of his home tracks, he's doing quite well so far regardless. Still in P2. Only qualified 6 thousandths of a second ahead of Martin Arnoldus. That's how close these two are in terms of pace. Chris Roberts there. Up 6 positions. Now into P12. Made another spot, of course, on Robert Bernabeu, who's lost more positions. Something's gone wrong for Robert again. Oh, and Vincenzo Taramina's out of the race. So Vincenzo Taramina has joined the retirement list. That's our 5th retirement this afternoon. Here Here we go. There's Vincenzo Taramino. Oh, what happened there? The technical issue. Possibly rejoins the racetrack. Please don't tell me it's a rejoin issue. Oh, he pulled off. Okay. So that's very unfortunate. Here he is on the main straight now. Still a replay here. Right behind. I was going to say, is that Craig Ridley? But he's not racing. So, oh, there we go. Surely suspension damage. Yeah, that's suspension damage. You can see the wheels bent. And his day was done. Vincenzo Taramino joins our retirement list. The 5th retirement here today. The leading battle. Now up to a second difference. The gap between those two. Look at this mad scrambling pack. This starts with Jamie Brinkley in the 4th position. All the way back to Thomas Ziegler in 9th. So these three you're watching at the back of this pack. Samuel Clark, ahead of him is Jean-Michel Neon and Everett Paddock. Oh, look at this move, possibly. Everett Paddock. Yeah, forces Jean-Michel Neon offline. Where's Samuel Clark? He needs to be ready to pounce, and he's not. Job not done for Samuel Clark. Although running deep into Graham Hill Bend is Everett Paddock. Paddock, of course, placed extremely well in the championship. And these broadcasted races, generally a high strength of field as well, could be potentially the highest strength of field for the week. So you want to make this race count. And I thought I was crazy commentating at 6 a.m. in the morning right now. Samuel Clark's out there racing. I don't know if he's woken up early or he stayed up late. I guess we'll find out by like lap 20. If he crashes, he's definitely stayed up late. They still continue here. Brilliant shot here from the back of Jamie Brinkley. You know he's the leader of this train. He's 10 seconds behind the driver of Ollie Peacock. Ollie Peacock spun. He's in 3rd. Ollie Peacock's in the 3rd position. Here, though, is Jamie Brinkley going for a move around, well, Edouard Martin, excuse me. Edouard Martin going for a move around the inside of Jamie Brinkley, and he makes it through. Brinkley could lose another few positions here. Jean-Michel Neon ready to pounce. Everett Paddock right behind as well. So lots of drama here on lap 8 of the event. Paddock behind, passed by Samuel Clark. The energetic Samuel Clark, using that 4-hour energy. So this is what happened to Ollie Peacock. Oh, he spun it all on his own. Paddock Hill Bend. One of the most famous corners in motorsport. That allowed David Dandolo through into P2 and gave Martin Arnoldus a breath of fresh air. Clear lungs. And one hand on the trophy so far. He has to make sure that Paddock Hill Bend, though, doesn't beat him. Here was Jamie Brinkley being passed by Eduardo Martin. Martin, confident move up the inside, and this caused a bit of a chain effect behind. Jamie Brinkley still in 5th, but Jean-Michel Neon was close and ready to make a move. Still on the replay here. You can see there, good move, of course. Back to the main straight, though. Right behind, I think that was Everett Paddock on screen. There he is around the outside. Now files back in to line, right behind Jean-Michel Neon, the Frenchman. And Paddock, the American, cannot find a way through. You're allowed to do that. There is some grasscrete there. For those wondering, it is not entirely grass. So when the drivers do that, they are still maintaining some good lap times. It's not any dirt, dust, grass or anything, so they won't, it'll be quite smooth. It's almost like driving on tarmac on that grasscrete. Basically concrete, if you're wondering what grasscrete is. Otherwise, Google it. 2018, everybody. Through the right-hander of Sheen Curve. No, excuse me, that was Westfield. Sheen Curve coming up now. Love these corners. All medium speed, all high speed. No huge hairpins except for Druid's Corner. And Clark Curve there. So difficult. Blind as you travel through the apex. Easy to get wrong. Don't want to scrub off any speed through Paddock Hill Bend. Everett Paddock, though, corner not named after him, and for good reason. He's run very wide there and has not got it right. Graham Hill Bend again. There they run onto the grasscrete yet another time. So here's where you have the Indy layout. You can see there at the bottom of the screen there's extra tarmac. There is a shorter version of Brands Hatch. Not using that today, and I'm glad we're using this long version as we ride on board here with Thomas Zager. He's the driver behind Everett Paddock. Now behind Thomas Zager is Samuel Clark as well. So if Samuel Clark's brave, we may see him just appear on screen out of nowhere, RKO. But look at the battle up in front. Everett Paddock, he's trying to get a move on. Through Sterling's. Oh, he's so close, isn't he, Everett Paddock? Could even make a move here. Into Clark Curve. It would be a very optimistic move. Pushes hard. Oh, you couldn't put anything between the two cars at the moment. It's that close. Oh, running deep's John Michel. He's going to lose that position for sure. Don't make contact, boys. They don't. And then through Druid's hairpin, a position made for Everett Paddock. He's up into P6. So lap 11 of 21, past halfway of the distance here. Let's have a look at your top 10 so far. It's Arnaldus leading by 7 seconds ahead of David Dendelo. Dendelo, of course, promoted to second due to the mistake of Ollie Peacock there in the third position. Dendelo up 5 spots. Eduardo Martinez in 4th, up 9 positions from his starting spot of 13th, and it's Jamie Brinkley in 5th. Jean-Michel Leon is having a great race so far. I talked about it. He's a streaky racer, Jean-Michel Leon. He's currently in P6, having a good event. He's in 7th, excuse me. That should be updated soon. Everett Paddock's made past him. Everett Paddock is in 6th. Then Ziegler in 8th, Clark 9th, Chris Roberts in 10th as well. And then Jim Day, Nenad Matjevich, Alessandro Moresta, and Robert Bernabeu are your remaining runners. Your retirements, Vincenzo Taormina. And on the first lap, it was Anne Medema, Aurelian Jim Lewis, Daniel Fletcher, and Robert Plumley, all involved in pretty much 2 separate incidents, but at the same corner on the same lap at the same time. So you can cross that off your bingo board for Pro Mazda. You don't know what to expect in this series. Everett Paddock trying to make a move there on Jamie Brinkley. Everett Paddock trying to make a lot of progress here. There's a reason why he's so high up in the championship standings. This will be a pass for Everett Paddock. Good pass. And a great move from Everett Paddock in that TNT racing car. And confirms that position. Here we ride on board with Jean-Michel Noyon. And look at the dust kicking up from the front of Jamie Brinkley. Brinkley has lost a lot of time. And to make this a quadruple whammy, Thomas Ziegler is in the 8th position. And ready to make himself past Jamie Brinkley. Pushes hard through Paddock Hill Bend. I thought that was almost contact. And through Druid's hairpin. Around the outside, Thomas Ziegler goes. Cannot remain in front. Can't sustain any traction there, of course. Right behind, good battle here. Jim Day battling ahead with Alessandro Moresta. And what's going on here? They're both trying to let each other through. I don't know what ladies and gentlemen, I am officially confused. These drivers have just lost 7 seconds or something to the drivers in front. I don't know, trying to readdress? Did something go wrong? I'm officially stumped. I don't know what happened there. It seemed like it was a good battle initially. Back to the real battles here. Samuel Clark, Thomas Ziegler still close between each other. There they are at the back of the pack. There's Clark. He's on the back end of this order. This train starts with Jean-Michel Leon in 6th. Then Brinkley, Ziegler, and Clark follow. under the bridge at the clearways and through to Brabham Straight. A very weird straight. First of all, it's not even flat. Second of all, it's not even straight. That's Brabham Straight for you at Brands Hatch. That's what makes this circuit so beautiful. So while these battles take place, if drivers get Brands Hatch wrong, of course, you get those drop rounds. Whoa, just talking about that. Jean-Michel Neon's out of the event. He spun. We talked about streaky racing. He's trying to continue. That rear wing's done and dusted. It's bent to the max. To put it in nice words, he's confirmed. He's parked it. He's out of the event. What happened here? Ran wide at Graham Hill Bend. Oh, so there's certainly no grasscrete around there. Huge unforced error. And Jean-Michel Neon puts himself out of contention for some very valuable points. So that battle now is between Brinkley, Ziegler, and Clark. 3 of them for essentially P6. So through turn 1 now, Brinkley, Ziegler, Clark continue. No moves for either one of them. Just trying to pay attention here through Graham Hill Bend. Will any of them run wide? I think they've all seen what happened in front to Jean-Michel Neon. Have a look at Everett Paddock though. Trying to make a move for P4. Oh, he's so close. He's pulled off a move here earlier, not around the outside, but Eduardo Martin doesn't want to throw away a good result here. Oh, around the outside, Everett Paddock. Overtake of the day, signed, sealed, delivered. Send it to the post office, create a stamp, knight him. Do whatever you want to do to Everett Paddock, make him president of the United States. That move was essentially a champion's move. He wants to win this championship. Right there, he's shown that he can. Well, he's got 2 sets of steals, like I like. Oh, yeah, you know what I mean. Like I like to say, Everett Paddock in the 4th position. He's got 10 seconds to make up though on Ollie Peacock. So ironically, as good as Everett Paddock's been today, and yeah, he's 22 seconds off leader Martin Arnoldas, who's remained unscathed. Arnoldas having a good race, still 7 seconds ahead of Dendelo. Peacock 4 seconds behind David Dendelo, probably taking it easy now and just claiming those remaining points. So what I was trying to say before was, you get Brands Hatch wrong, you take it as your drop round. The likes of Jean-Michel Neon obviously will. Phillip Island next week for week 4. We'll be back, obviously, for RaceSpotTV broadcasting for Watkins Glen in round 5. So that will be... And just as I'm talking about that, something's going wrong with Ollie Peacock. He's off the racetrack, lost a bit more time. He's continued, though, unscathed. There he is on screen. Something went wrong for him at Sterling's, the left-hander. There's a replay up, so let's just have a look at this quickly. Comes through. This will be Sheen Curve here, I'm pretty sure. No, that was Westfield. Sheen Curve coming up now. Oh, he just missed the apex to the inside of the corner, pushed too wide. And then, yeah, just picked it up for Sterling. So didn't lose too much time, actually. You might be surprised, but you might have only lost about half a second there. Don't want to damage the underside to the car. Don't want to damage the front wing, though. That's very important for him. Certainly visually, I can see some damage to Ollie Peacock's front wing. So there it is. See on the right-hand side, on his left front, there seems to be some damage. So hopefully he doesn't lose too much time from that. I don't think he's going to lose all 9 seconds to Everett Paddock in the 4th position. But yeah, he should be fine. Alessandro Moresta is out of the event. There he is. He's crashed into the wall. That seems like a technical issue. Oh no, he just went straight on. This is that Clark curve, the final corner. What's happened here for Alessandro Moresta? No, he's continued. This will be Paddock Hill Bend. Oh, I'm not sure. That's a hard one to put. Very odd incident. Some drivers I've seen do that. They try to take such a wide entry into Paddock Hill Bend that they'll put a couple of wheels onto the grass there, but I don't know. It looked like he went straight on as well. Very confusing. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Technical issue from Resta. He's actually out of the event as well. Jean-Michel Neon back out on the racetrack with a damaged car, trying to finish this event, but we're looking here at Samuel Clark and Thomas Ziegler for these remaining points with only a few laps to go. So back again to Watkins Glen. That race will be on Sunday, the 14th of July at 1:45 a.m. GMT, and that's perfect. That's 11:45 a.m. in the morning here in Australia for me. So if you're crazy enough to be Samuel Clark on screen, you don't need to wake up at probably 4:30 in the morning like he did just to race in this event. Or stay up all night to 6:20 in the morning. Who knows? The mystery of Samuel Clark's 8th place finish, possibly. A story for the ages. With a few laps to go here. Brinkley, Zager, Clark, as we said, are in this battle as well. There's another fight going on between Paddock and Martin for the 4th and 5th position. Rest of the field, though, pretty much fine. Nenad Matjevich and Chris Roberts in 9th and 10th. Yeah, not too close, but might keep an eye on that, of course, as well. 13 cars still out there if you count Jean-Michel Neon. Jean-Michel Neon's actually into the pit, so 12 cars still out there with a few laps remaining. Have a look at this. There's number 6, Thomas Zager. He has lost a position to Samuel Clark. Samuel Clark's made his way through, and that occurred, of course, and it looked like, actually, that may have occurred over towards the last sector of the last lap there. Heading out of Sheen Curve. Again, Sheen Curve has been a graveyard for a lot of drivers there today. And that means Thomas Ziegler's demoted to the 8th position. There he is in that cyan white livery. Don't think he's going to be able to make his way past unless Clark makes a mistake here. Clark looks racy though. Only 2 laps remaining for Clark, so once he crosses the line now, well, there'll be 2 laps remaining now when he crosses the line. He still has a lot of time left in this event to make a move past Jamie Brinkley. Let's have a look this time round through Paddock Hill Bend, whether he gets a good run. Seemed almost exactly the same between the two, but the braking zone, Samuel Clark gets the advantage through there. Now he etches closer and closer to Jamie Brinkley. Brinkley's been really falling down the order since the race has started. He started this race on the 2nd row of the grid, currently in the 6th position. Clark still can't make his way past. Eduardo Martin still can't make his way past Everett Paddock and reclaim the 4th position. Westfield and Sheen Curve coming up as well. This is the corner that's caught a lot of drivers out. Here we are from... Oh, I was wondering what would we see on the back end of the trees. It's Samuel Clark getting closer and closer. Final lap though for Martin Arnoldus. He's through Graham Hill Bend. There he is. Look at that. Nobody's in sight. That's how the race has been for Martin Arnoldus. You have to say, every time this guy's on a broadcast, he's always in the 2nd position. Every time I'm at least commentating. I'm glad that curse is out of the way for the TNT Racing driver. Through the middle sector. He's had a good race so far. David Endelo had a quiet one as well. Started 7th, made a few positions on the opening lap. Ollie Peacock's mistake demoted him to 3rd, and that meant David Endelo claimed that 2nd position. So those 3 should be your podium, unless anything goes wrong in this final lap. Paddock is ready to claim a podium position. The same for Eduardo Martin. But it's all about this man on screen. Martin Arnoldus. 21 laps of action. And yet again, he will claim another victory at Brands Hatch. Slows just before the finish line. Don't do a Formula 3000, Martin Arnoldas. He is your victor for Week 3, Season 3 action of the Pro Mazda Championship. There's David Dendelor. He crosses the line. Ollie Peacock happy with a podium on screen as well of 2. Samuel Clark made his way past Jamie Brinkley on the final lap. Samuel Clark will come home in 6th. What a finish for Samuel Clark. Brinkley ends up in 7th. Thomas Eager in 8th. This is a move we will have to see. There's the replay coming up shortly. Where did it happen? It may have happened into, here we go. So we're through Paddock Hill Bend. May have happened here at Druids Hairpin, actually. Samuel Clark currently in 7th. Brakes late. Oh, man, he had the move done before the apex of the corner. Can keep it together, though. They still going to remain side by side here through Graham Hill Bend. Going for the switchback, possibly Jamie Brinkley. No. So Samuel Clark pretty much had that position, I guess, there towards the end of the lap. Yeah, good stuff from Samuel Clark in that number 1 car. Of course, highest I rating. Samuel Clark has been all around iRacing over the years. So let's have a look at your unofficial race results. Martin Arnoldas victor for Week 3, Season 3 of the Pro Mazda Championship from Brands Hatch by 5 seconds over David Dendelor as well, who had a great race after starting in 7th. Ollie Peacock, mistakes, and what could have been for him a possible race win thrown away. He'll only end up with a 3rd position. Surely still pleased with that, though. And the man will try to make some improvements next time out. Everett Paddock, a man who started in 9th, up 5 positions. He needed that for the championship, didn't he? Finishes home in 4th. Eduardo Martin started in 13th, up into 5th. He had a great start. That's where he made up most of his positions. He was followed by Samuel Clark with that ever-thrilling last lap move on Jamie Brinkley. Brinkley had a progressive event, a one to forget, of course, as well. He'll come home in 7th. Thomas Seeger, Nenad Matjevic, Chris Roberts round out your top 10, all on the lead lap, of course, as well. Cycling through to your 11th to 19th place finishers, Jim Day and Robert Bernabeu. Still on the lead lap, Robert Bernabeu, of course, mistakes and a couple of spins forced him down into the 12th position. Then we have our DNFs, of course, today. Alessandro Maresta losing it at Paddock Hill Bend. Jean-Michel Noyon involved in an unforced error at Graham Hill Bend. Vincenzo Taromina out of the race as well. And on the first lap, we lost Amadema, Aurelian Jimlowitz, Daniel Fletcher, and Robert Plumley, all involved in 2 separate incidents, 2 cars each, all at the same corner. No one to interview here today. I think it would be time to wrap up from the RaceSpotTV commentary booth. I have to say, first of all, it has been ever thrilling doing these races. Good to be back in the commentary booth. The next race, the Pro Mazda Championship, of course, will be traveling to Phillip Island for 18 laps of racing next week, of course. Join in on that for Week 4, Season 3 action for 2018. Our next broadcasted race, and we mentioned it earlier on, will be for Week 5 at Watkins Glen. That will be Sunday, the 14th of July at 1:45 a.m. GMT. Convert to your local time zones. We'll also have another event later on for Week 9 at Belle Isle, Saturday, the 4th of August. That will be at 9:45 p.m. GMT. Most of all, though, thank you to all you viewers who joined us for today's broadcast. I'm Jonathan Simon, Hugo Luis in production. Thank you, of course, there on screen, Istvan Ballo, Andreas Werner, Simon Grossman, and Nick Thiessen for all their work behind the scenes in production, of course, because this has been the brilliant RaceSpotTV presentation broadcasted on iRacing Live. We will say so long from Brands Hatch, and we'll see you yet another time.
So what are you afraid of? Those feelings are made up. For anyone asking who is the best, we putting our hands up.
4 more kilometers. Oh, there we go! They caught!
This time, like the last time, I'm moving so fast, I'm ready to ride.
Wonky! Down to the inside, and Hookie's off!
Passenger throws the block, and he will keep him behind him.
My time. None of you people can tell me to stop. Lower the lights down, hand over my crown.